Hello everyone, welcome back to my adventures in Kyoto. So starting off from last time, I actually did end up doing something that night. I went to this kind of cool old style izakaya thing where I tried a bunch of interesting sake at the recommendation of my next door neighbor and whale for the first time. It was surprisingly fatty. I don't know if I'd have it again. But yeah, that led into Saturday, which was kind of unfortunately rainy. And so I decided to take the day to kind of just check out some cuisine that was around. I booked an interesting breakfast at this cool spot that they were renting out of their house. It was a little bit fancy and a little bit pricey, but it was delicious. And I also had a really good meal at some kind of cafeteria joint that served this awesome dumpling and noodle soup. The highlight of my Saturday, though, was actually koto lessons, which is the instrument you see in front of you. It's a 13-string Japanese instrument where all the strings are already at a specific tuning and you adjust the pitch by playing a different string or you push on one part of the string, which is harder than it looks. The sheet music is complicated, but after hours and hours, the teacher finally kind of got it through to me and we played a tune together, which sounded a little bit like this. That's great. Right on. Perfect. That felt good.
Alright, good morning everyone. It is currently day 4 in Kyoto. Yesterday was a bit of a dud. It rained most of the day, so I wasn't really able to go out and do much sightseeing. But as for right now, there's a car coming, hold on. As for today, the weather was also supposed to be trash. Somehow, it miraculously turned around and it is wonderfully sunny. So I'm going to take today to try and do what I was supposed to do yesterday, which will hopefully culminate in going to see the spot that I wanted to see most today, Kinkakuji, or the Golden Pavilion, the Golden Temple, whatever you want to call it. So let's get going. Alright, we have made it to Hanazono Station, which is right behind me. This is the start point for today. There's a number of shrines that I want to check out in that direction. But first I'm going to stop at this convenience store, get a few things like some water, maybe some snacks so that I'm not running on empty this whole time. And then after that, I'll go ahead to the next stop.
Not too far from Hanazono Station, after about a 5-minute walk, I arrived at my first destination of the day, a temple complex called Myoshinji. Now, Myoshinji had a really, really interesting atmosphere to it because it was kind of like a village or something, maybe just a really large temple complex or something like that housed a lot of people. I get the impression that samurai may have lived there and stuff like that. There were so many beautiful gates and intricate artwork on every single surface you can imagine. But the main reason for me actually going here was to visit a place called Taizo Inn. Now, Taizo Inn has really, really intricate Zen gardens that have been maintained in this facility since 1404. They were really, really nice, and I'll just let you guys see what I mean. With Myoshinji behind me, my next goal was to procure some sustenance, which I did by promptly answering the calls of about a half dozen old ladies that were making squid balls from their house windows on my way up to the next destination. Yeah, I mean, it sounds as sketchy as it does because it kind of was, but I mean, in retrospect, they were really good. So do I regret anything? Not one bit. Anyway, the next destination on today's trip is a place called Ryoanji. Now, this is a temple more to the north of Kyoto that is known for its Zen rock garden arrangement. to the point where it was actually named a UNESCO World Heritage Site and like an invaluable cultural asset of ancient Kyoto. To me, though, the part that blew me away the most about this place was definitely the gardens surrounding it. I'll kind of let the video play and show you by itself, but to me, there was a certain level of natural balance, not just in the garden, of course, in the temple as well, that I don't think I found for the rest of the trip. There was just something about it. Anyway, take a look for yourself.
Alright, so that was Ryoanji. Oh, it's a lizard. Oh, it's a lizard! Oh, there he goes. Lizard. What was I saying? Yeah, so that's one of 2 World Heritage Sites that we're going to check out today. The second one is the main reason why I decided to come to Kyoto. It's the Kinkakuji, or the Golden Palace. It's open till 5, it's just 3 o'clock now. So I'm probably going to stay there from when I get there all the way till when it closes. I really want to take the time to relish that moment and enjoy seeing this one thing that I've wanted to see since I was 12. So
here we are. I'd finally made it. This is the part of the trip that perhaps I was looking the most forward to, Kinkakuji. And I tell you, I couldn't be more blessed that it was on such a beautiful day. It's the second World Heritage Site on this trip, and perhaps to me, the most impressive. I mean, what else can you say? It's literally a building covered in gold. I've been wanting to visit this place since I was 12. There's always a certain air of mystery about it, and I'm just thrilled that I was able to kind of finally sate my curiosity. Anyway, I'll let the video speak for itself. Here's Kinkakuji, guys. With security guards hot on my ass to close the temple grounds, I had to make my way through in a hurry, try to throw this money in a tin, and completely miss for good luck, so much for that. And then I actually went to this tourist area at the very top of the hill close to the temple that offered me some green tea and some interesting Japanese snacks with some gold on them. I have to say that this was an interesting experience for me. It was really something that satisfied something deep in my soul, but I'll leave it to, in the moment me to explain it to you because I think he has a lot more to say.
Right. I just left Kinkakuji, and I have to say it was definitely the most magical experience I think I've had since I've been in Japan, easily. And in my life, probably in the top 3. Honestly, it was that good. It was so nice. I mean, it's the reflection of the sun off the gold and how it kind of shines in the water just before it. And, there's a certain tranquility about it that I've never really seen before. And particularly, there was a time when I was watching it or looking at it, and there was actually nobody around. It was just me, and that was like a real weird, focus time, if you want to call it that, where I had that sight all to myself. I was the only person in the world seeing that. On the opposite side of things, I'm left with a bit of a void now because I've wanted to see that sight for so long, to burn that into my brain for as long as I can remember. And now that I've done that, literally the number one thing I wanted to see on the entire planet has been crossed off my list. Well, what do I do? How do I choose the next number one? I got so many other places that I want to see, but none of them held the same level of importance as that to me. At any rate, I haven't really had much tea today. I've snacked on a few things here and there, but that's about it. So maybe during meal I can think about what I'm going to do next and kind of where to set my priorities in terms of where I want to travel. So I'm walking to the restaurant and I see this behind me. So many cherry blossoms, and I mean I can't miss up on that chance. I have to go check that out. So pissed up, dude. There's so many cherry blossoms here. Like I just walked by and see a big red stripy thing behind me, and then all of a sudden I'm like surrounded with cherry blossoms. Like look at that, it's so pretty. Like that's one thing that I still have a hard time thinking of. Like I mean in Ottawa we have the Arboretum, right, where there's plum trees that bloom for like a week and then they're gone, and during that time it's so nice. But here it's like the entire city is just absolutely covered in these trees, and especially when they're at their peak bloom right now. I guess I timed this really well. It's a sight that you really can't beat, honestly. Like you really cannot beat it. It's just so beautiful in every single way.
For those who don't know, I do tend to get distracted pretty easy, but I think this time it's a bit of an exception. That park was absolutely amazing. But, you know, like I kind of initially set out to, my stomach was rumbly, and it was about time for my next meal.
I thought it would be only appropriate to end this vlog on a really good note. Had an awesome day, and so why not finish the day with my favorite Japanese food of all time. First off, karaage and katsu. This is chicken katsu, and the katsu is awesome. This is actually really good. This is just a tiny little place I found on Google Maps. Had just a couple of reviews, but they were pretty good, so I figured I'd come here. Anyway, that's it for me today. I'm gonna eat this and probably head back to the hotel room and see if I can work on some videos or something like that, because at this time everything else is closed, and honestly I have too much footage to work with, so that's it for me. See you later, guys.
A big thanks to the supporters of this channel for making it possible for me to make awesome videos like this for you guys. If you had any favorite places that I visited in this video, let me know in the comments. See you next time.